Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a movie review. In this one, we're going to be talking about Underworld Evolution. And, I checked this one out last night, and, I seen the first one, I seen the prequel, and finally decided to, give the series another look. And I have to say, Underworld Evolution was awesome, actually. I heavily enjoyed it. I know it's probably going to piss a lot of people off because, this series gets a lot of haters for one reason or another. But before we talk about that, I did like the first one. I thought it was pretty decent. I haven't seen that one for quite a few years, though, so at some point I want to go back and watch that. But I thought the first one was decent from what I remember. And the prequel I actually liked a bit more, Rise of the Lycans. And Underworld Evolution, I think, is personally my favorite so far. I just think it did a really good job of, expanding upon the world they've created. It had some awesome action sequences, I think, and just pretty good ending as well. While still, allowing it to continue for the next movie, of course. But like I said, this movie has a lot of haters, for one reason or another. A lot of times, I see it put in the same category as, the Resident Evil films. And I've seen most of the Resident Evil films. I don't think I've seen the last one or two or something, but I remember watching them in middle school with some of my, elementary, middle school with, a couple of my friends that I don't really want to call friends anymore. And, that was okay for just, pure action, and a lot of people, put Underworld in the same category as that, and I just don't think that's right, because at least Underworld isn't butchering any source material, because I enjoy the Resident Evil video games a good amount, and just to see what the films have done to the story and stuff like that, it's just so that's something that Underworld has over the Resident Evil film series, is that it's not butchering any kind of source material or anything like that. And also not just that either. Of course, people also draw comparisons because, you have, two, tough, female leads, going after these monsters and stuff. But that's, kind of where it ends, as far as, the action and the female characters, that's kind of where it ends. And besides, Celine is pretty different from Alice, I want to say. And again, Alice, there's a weird glare out, so I don't know what the hell that is. It's like a moon, I guess that works. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't really know what to do about this thing right here. Never really had this issue before. And there it goes. Anyway, where was I, by the way? But yeah, what Underworld also has over the Resident Evil films is that, in my opinion, I think that the Underworld films do a pretty good job of, establishing a history, a world, universe that these characters exist in, with these monsters. And they really lay out the history well, throughout. I haven't seen Awakening yet, but when I do, I will do a review on it. But from what I've seen in Underworld and World Evolution and Rise of the Lycans, this laid out a really nice history between the vampires and werewolves, as well as the politics between the vampires themselves, and the rivalries there and the feuds and stuff like that. They really lay out a nice, little mythos, pretty original version of, these characters fighting each other. And so I think that makes it much more interesting and, detailed than anything in the Resident Evil movies. But like I said, the Resident Evil games, on the other hand, they have pretty intricate plots and stuff like that. But we're talking about the movies here, and Underworld completely blows any of the Resident Evil movies out of the water that I've seen. Also, Kate Beckinsale, she does an amazing job. I even liked her in Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. She really plays Celine really well, the cold, no-nonsense, badass vampire warrior chick. And again, still a big appeal of these movies is the action, and it does deliver on that end as well. And, she really pulls off, she really makes you believe that she is this person, she is this, not one of the eldest vampires, but, still a pretty intelligent, experienced vampire. So I really buy into her like that. She has that cold personality. So I really think it works with her in the role. And my favorite villain so far is actually Viktor, I think, who is in the first Resident Evil and, Rise of the Lycans, of course, the prequel. But I really did like Marcus in this movie as well. I think he's a very close second to Viktor for me. And I like his history with his brother, William, and what had happened back in the day with Viktor and stuff like that, and how he was imprisoned because he just thought that if he died, then, it would destroy, the werewolf chain, and they wouldn't have any more slaves and stuff like that. I'm not going to try to explain every part of it because it does get kind of complicated, and it, does it's kind of hard to keep track of things sometimes, I will admit, but it's not to the degree like Cinema Sins or something tries to say, because I watched the Cinema Sins video about this right after I watched this movie last night, and they and people that just bitch about this movie, they just point out every little thing that can even be explained. They talk about things that are actually not that hard to figure out, and that just irritates me. So really, they're just nitpicking the hell out of it. But like I said, it's a really good history that they lay out, and we even see the father of William and Marcus in this movie, and how he's supposed to be. He is more powerful than Marcus, but he just doesn't have it in him to kill any of his own sons, and that's why Marcus is able to best him. Another cool thing about this was, of course, how he passed down the power, some of his power anyway, to Celine, as he fed on his blood. And it really paid off in the climax, the main fight of the movie. Also, Scott Speedman as Michael, he's an okay character. He's not one of my favorites, really, in the movie, but, the character himself is kind of bland in a way, I think. I'm not sure if it's the character or just the actor, how he portrays him. But he does get pretty awesome when he does, go all hybrid. He's the first of his kind, supposedly, and stuff like that until we found out more. But when he goes hybrid, it's really awesome. The effects they have on him are really cool. And that's another thing. People go into this, I've heard people say it's like a CGI fest and stuff like that. And yes, I haven't seen Awakening yet. But from what I've seen, yes, there's obviously CGI used. But also, they have some actually pretty nice, practical effects. They use animatronics and stuff for the werewolves, and they look pretty good, to be honest. And I really liked the design and the effects used for Marcus in this movie as well. I think looked really good, actually. At first I wasn't a big fan of the werewolf designs in these movies, or the werewolf designs, I should say. But they have been growing on me, and they're definitely better than a lot of other movies I've seen with werewolves, at all. So, that's a good thing. And also, these movies were being released, starting, within a few years apart from when Twilight was going on, Let's see. Yeah, the first movie was released in 2003. This one was released in 2006. Rise of the Lycans 2009, and Awakening 2012. And, okay, I don't know the exact date for the Twilight release of the first movie, but I am going to look it up right now. Just so I can, 2008 was the first Twilight movie. So this was released, like I said, within a couple of years, or a year, of the first Twilight movie. And so this is definitely a better alternative. These are definitely more so what werewolves and vampires should be, what their story and their feud should be like. Very dark, very gritty and violent. Just really awesome. And I also really liked how they had this blue coloring effect going on, with pretty much all the shots in the film. Blue, sometimes gray. I think it works pretty well, and it gives sort of an extra stylized, but yet somewhat, I don't know, artsy. It's not the best word for this movie, but artsy, got extra gothic feel to it that I really like. And I really like the I really like the settings, or the environment in this movie as well. We see a lot of woods, forest area, but then you get some, of course, more warehousey type of areas, and older buildings too that are connected to the vampires, which is cool. And I also like Marcus quite a bit in this movie. Like I said, I don't like him quite as well as Viktor, I don't think, because Viktor had all that history of Celine and, going as far back with Lucian as he did and stuff. But Marcus is a very close second. And I liked his back and forth with his father, and that was actually interesting in and of itself. I even wouldn't mind seeing like a prequel completely detailing all the events that went on there, but I don't think they're gonna do that. And some people are a little bit irritated that they just killed off Craven, who is the main villain one of the main villains in the previous movie. Like second to Viktor in Underworld. And he was killed right as Marcus awakened. But I was happy about that. I pretty much I went like this, yes. Because of course Marcus uses his the spikes from his wings, or the talons, or whatever they are. Uses them really effectively to stabs him through him, pins him against the wall. Gets all the information he wants out of him by sucking his blood, and then he just completely takes his head off, which is really awesome, really brutal and satisfying to see, I think. And of course Selene is being hunted supposedly because she's the one that killed Viktor, head sliced in half and stuff like that. And so Marcus is pursuing him throughout the movie because he also needs to get the memories from Selene in order. Have I been calling her Selena? I don't know. I'm sorry. But yeah, he needs to get the memories from Selene in order to find out where these medallions are, or pendants, I should say. And one of them's on Lucian, and Selena has it, or something like that. I'm kind of forgetting. And the other was within Victor's actual body. Which Marcus ends up getting, from when he goes for his father and stuff, as well as Selene. So I also thought it was a pretty cool sequence of when, excuse me, cranberry bread. Pretty cool sequence when Michael and Selene are trying to get away from Marcus on the truck, and he's flying alongside him. This was some really cool, fist fight sort of with Marcus in his vampire, hybrid type of form, and Michael, of course, the hybrid, is able to match his power, even actually get the upper hand over him quite a few times. Really cool fight with that. And of course you do have the romance between Selene and Michael in this movie continued, and it's okay. It's probably the least interesting part of the whole movie to me. And again, of course I love the action in these movies now, but I'm not just an action junkie or something either. I've told you guys that before with TV shows. But, like I said, I do appreciate the history and the actual characters and stuff like that in this movie, too. And, as far as the love story, like I said, it's not the best part of it. Like I said, the Michael character himself isn't too interesting once, he's out of the whole hybrid mode. But, it's not too bad, and, it is, pretty good as far as sex scenes go when they do have it happen. So, it's not the worst of things. And, of course, Kate Beckinsale looks nice as usual, but again, I think she actually does act the role pretty well at the same time, so that's really good. Of course, the climax of this movie, this whole final fight, once Marcus is actually able to release William and stuff, and, Selena gets help from some of, their father's men, and, but they all end up getting killed and turned into werewolves and stuff. And I also really like the flashback sequence at the beginning of the movie too, showing part of the main incident that happened between Viktor, Marcus, and William and stuff. William, of course, being the oldest and supposedly most powerful werewolf. And I liked how that was shot too. It's a lot of chaos. I thought it was awesome. I don't know. Final fight, like I said, is really, really cool. Of course, it's mainly Selene taking on Marcus, and Michael sort of going back and forth with William. I did think it was a little weird when Selene kept on shooting at William, and he was just standing there, and jumping from point A to point B, just like having her target practice or something like that. So I thought that part was a little weird, but also there's a great amount of violence in this movie too. Of course, with all the shooting, but then also we see werewolves' heads get decapitated and stuff. We can see jaws get torn off, which was really awesome for the horror fan in me. Gore fan, I should say. And of course, like I said, Selene, I drank that blood from William and Marcus's father, and so that ends up giving her more strength. And I'm wondering if we're going to see more of how that blood affects her in Awakening and onward. I'm not sure, but we did see some of her additional power in this as she took on Marcus. As they were nearing the helicopter blades, And, of course, Marcus's hand gets taken off, and Celine is actually able to overpower him to a certain degree, too, which is really awesome to see. And of course, he is finally, stabbed through the head and killed by Celine, and William went down as well. He actually did, I think he did get his jaw torn off by Michael, which is pretty awesome, too. So, that's what I really have to say about the plot of the movie. And like I said, I think these movies are actually really good. I haven't seen Awakening yet, but I don't think I'm going to hate it. I'll probably like it too. But it's going to be hard for any of them to top this one for me. Evolution's definitely my favorite so far. And we also see at the end of the movie that, Celine, because the blood the blood she had, that she is now actually immune to sunlight. So now she's sort of going to be like a female Blade in a way. Except she's still all vampire, though. She's not like partly human or something. I think. Well, she kind of. Or she wasn't like born half human, half vampire or something. But, she's still going to be a badass, vampire hunter or, death dealer type of chick. So that's awesome. I can walk in sunlight. And also people, like CinemaSins and stuff, complain about Alexander, killing himself in that explosion after he had given Selena his blood. Or Celine, I should say. Because he's immortal, why did he die from that? But really, immortal, it means more specific things than you would think sometimes, Vampires immortal as far as age goes and disease and stuff, but of course they still have their weaknesses and their ways of actually being killed, like decapitation, stake, sunlight, whatever it is. And, of course, like a mass explosion like that, probably would take Alexander's head off and stuff. And just because he's immortal, like I said, in a couple senses, doesn't mean he's completely invulnerable to any damage whatsoever either. So you gotta think about that, too. So, overall I thought it was a very fast-paced, I'm actually going to say well-thought-out story that really that really expanded more and more on the world. And, I'm probably going to get some hate for, liking this movie as much as I did, but I'm not going to deny it. I thought it was an awesome movie, and I really do like the Underworld series. Like I said, once I am able to see Awakening, I will review it. And it's even to the point now where I'm planning on buying all of the Underworld movies on Blu-ray. And I'm very happy to know that they are planning, 2 more movies, at least, in the series. They're even talking about a TV show. I don't know how that would turn out, it'd be like a sci-fi thing, but it could be interesting. But Underworld Next Generation's coming in 2016. I heard like around October 21st, which is going to be awesome. And they're also planning a 6th movie, which is cool too. So I'm excited. I'm guessing the 6th one is probably going to be the last. That should be epic as hell, though. Can't wait. So let me know what you guys think about the Underworld movies, or at least please agree with me that they don't deserve nearly as much hate as they get. I think they're pretty awesome movies. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do have a few more videos actually planned out. The next video I'll probably do, I'm planning on, is most likely a top Vampire Diaries characters video, or my favorite Vampire Diaries characters. And then, of course, with Christmas being Friday, I'll probably do a video showing what I got on Christmas. And then when my girlfriend comes over Saturday for our second little Christmas, I'll show you what she got me then, too. Then after that, I'll probably do a top Z Nation characters video. And as it gets closer to January 21st, a top 10 or so, 100, characters of the 100 video. So you guys have that to look forward to as well. So, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Movie Pilot, and lookrandswelda.com. I'll catch you guys next time, and peace.